Hi guys, good day and welcome to my channel. My name is Chioma, and on today's episode I'll be cutting a corset top. Please, if you're new here and my returning subscribers, I thank all of you. Thank you for liking, subscribing and supporting this channel. And if you're new here, please do not forget to like and also subscribe. Please support my channel. It will really mean a lot to me. Thank you. So moving on to today's business, I'll be cutting a corset top, and this is just me drafting it on my pattern paper. So I've gone ahead to measure the shoulder. I divided the shoulder into two, which was 50, which is 15 and a half. I am dividing it into two. Then I'm just going to use the same measurement I got for my shoulder to divide the armhole. So after that, I'm going to come down by half an inch. And this is because the shoulder is going to have a slope. So I do not want it to affect my body measurement. For those of you that already know how to draft a basic body pattern, it is fine. But if you don't know how to and you want to use a pattern to do it, just go down by half of an inch so that it doesn't affect your measurement. So I'm just going to place my tape rule and then measure according to what the measurement is. Now for every measurement I make, especially my bust point and my under bust, I like going up rather by half of an inch. The reason is because the bust is supposed to be padded. It's supposed to like come up a bit. It's supposed to be up, not down. The bus is not supposed to be falling. I don't know how to explain it, but this is the best way I can use. So the basic body measurement you need is just your chest measurement, your bust, under bust, your waist, and your hip. Now, if you've gotten this, you are good to go for your basic body measurement. Now, the basic body measurement I am using for this pattern is 7 inches for chest. I used, I think, 10 inches for bust point, 12 and a half for under bust, 16 for waist, and 25 for the hip measurement. Now, to sew a corset top, a corset dress, you'll be needing to the hip measurement. This is because you need to snatch in your stomach as well to bring out the shape. So I have gone ahead to sew my bust cup. I don't know what people call it, but this is my own name for it. I've gone ahead to sew the bust cup, and this is because I want that pointed bust, that pointed side in the middle to come out. So I just had to sew it by half of an inch. So after that, I will just take down the body measurement. I've divided my armhole into two, which gave me about 3¾ or something, and I've gone ahead to draft out my neck as well. So I used 3 by 3 inches, which I later increased to 3.5 inches. Then I'll be coming down to get the body yoke, the keyhole. I will come down by 2 and then just make a freehand curve, but I'm going to attend to that later. So now to get my corset cup, I'm just going to place my breast cup on it, and I'm going to trace it out on the pattern. When tracing your cup on your pattern, you need to be aware of your dart point, which you'll be using as a guideline to get your dart line. You can just trace it out, or you can use your nipple to nipple measurement, divide it into 2, and then get your dart. Now note that for this pattern is not compulsory, it is not necessary, but I just want it to have that effect. That is why I am trying to put in a dart on this kind of pattern. So I'll just trace out the dots, then figure out how to cut it to make it balanced and okay. So this is basically everything for the body measurement of your corset blouse. I would go ahead and measure the midpoint of the corset, which I went in by 3/4 of an inch, and then after that I'm just trying to like figure out what to do to the that, but I would always sort it out. So here is me measuring the body of the corset. Now for every inches I have, I always had 2 inches for seam allowance. Sometimes I go out by 2.5 inches, half inch for sewing allowance, or sewing allowance, then 2 inches just for seam allowance, just in case the dress becomes tight on the person in the next 1 month or so. You will still have a cost to put on that dress. That's why I like adding enough inches on my dress. So I'm just going out again by half inch just to be on the safer side. Then I'll just go ahead and trace out all the body parts, body measurements. This is me just adding half inch to the neck. Like I said, I don't want it to be too tight on the person's neck, so I'm adding half inch to just make it low a bit. Then from the neck to the chest, I came down by 2 inches. Since I'll be biasing it, I'll be using bias. I came down by 2 inches, then just use my free hand to cuff to the bust point. Then I made a slope on my shoulder. I came down by half of an inch. So this is basically all for the corset body measurement. I would go ahead to cut everything out step by step. So just pay attention and follow along here. As you're watching this, let me just quickly tell you guys a story. Not really a story, a gist per se. Things in the market are now very expensive. Things in the market are very, very expensive now. I always feel for people like us that we don't really go to the market, and then when we go to the market, we're now looking like JJC. I'm not feeling so happy because I did not really see gain in this dress I am making. Yes. Before you forget, this is the that I was trying to contemplate on what to do about it. So I've just gone ahead to like trace the that off. We cut out the corset cup, the bust cup, and then glue the pattern together to form a normal body. So back to my gist. Things are now very expensive. I go to the market and I well, what do they call when you do not overcharge a customer? Yes. So there is actually no gain in this, but I've told the person the price. We are Nigerians. So yes, that's the gist. So this is all for the this is all for the front bodies, and this is like basically all. I'll just use my sellotape. I don't have a paper tape, so I'm just going to use a sellotape to join it together. Now to cut my back bodies, I would measure the full length of the dress, which I said earlier that it's 21 inches. It's 21 I used, not 25. Oh, actually I thought I used 25. And this is sad. So use 21 inches, then measured my waist and then my bust. Yeah, so this is the back, so it actually doesn't have a lot of things to do. So just trace them out: under bust, bust, under bust, waist and hip. Then I've gone ahead to measure my shoulder and my armhole. So I'll just divide everything by 4 and then add 2 inches allowance. Do not forget 2 inches allowance, then extra ½ inch allowance like I did on the first one. So after that, I will just cross check and then cut. But if you know you'll be finding the two sides very difficult to measure, you can go ahead before cutting out your front pattern. After drafting it, you can just go ahead to place it on a blank pattern paper. Then you trace the measurement and the length out before doing whatever you need to do. Like you can even trace the dart out and everything. Just place the front on the back, cut out the neck, the body, the length, the dart before before cutting out the front pattern. That's if you know you'll be finding it difficult for both the front and the back to be the same. But if you know you're very fine with it, you can just do this method. And for those of you that do not know how to cut a basic body pattern, you could just let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video of it. After tracing out the neck, I've gone ahead to also trace out the keyhole. Then I'll be slanting the back by ½ inch so that it could have that back slope. So I'll be slanting it by ½ inch. This is me just wanting to be sure if the length of the yoke at the front is the same with the yoke at the back. So I've gone ahead to measure, then I'll make that slant. Is it slant or slope? I'll make the slope. So I'll connect all the dots together, connect everything together. I always recheck my measurements just to be sure, because I do not want a situation whereby the material won't have a sewing allowance. I do not always like that at all. So I will just connect everything, then I will cut it out. If you notice, this bag does not have a zipper allowance. That's because I will be adding a eyelet to it. That is why there's no zipper allowance at the back. So I've gone ahead to measure 2 inches to 3 inch close to the dart at the back to get that open eyelets, whatever it's called. I'm so sorry guys. So after that, I'll just trace everything out and then I will show you the pieces I actually need for the bag. Now I noticed that I was struggling with the chest part of the back. It's bringing out that bulkiness. The thing is, if it wasn't a corset, I wouldn't mind, because the chest kind of have some little bones that will push up that side, so I would not mind. But for the corset, I do not want any bulkiness. I just want everything to be snatched on the body. I want everything to lay on the body the way it is supposed to be. So that is why I have cut out that part, and then I'll just use my tape to join it back, and that's basically all for the back. Remember that this is supposed to have a bags effect, but I am not going to be touching the blouse. I'm not going to be touching the top. This is just basically all for the top. The bags effect will be on the skirt. But before now, I have already cut out my skirt and I've joined it together, which I was showing you guys before attaching it, or probably when attaching it to the fabric, because I've cut and joined a long time ago. So the bags will only apply on the skirt, but the blouse is just, this is how it's just going to be. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you watch up to this extent, it means that you really learned something from the video. Thank you, guys. I appreciate. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and see you in my next video, where I'll be showing you guys how to cut on the fabric. Compliments of the season, guys. Bye.